Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So children, this is our physics class and we have already completed chapter number 1, that is matter. So complete all your work in your copies and exercises in your books and start learning them and be prepared for your revision test. This is chapter number 2, measurement. Now what is measurement? Let's go through the definition of measurement. So measurement is finding a number that shows the size or amount of something. So if we want to know the size or amount of something, it means we are measuring that thing. So systems of measurement, there are two main systems of measurement: metric system and standard system. And in each system there are different units for measuring things like volume and mass. So we used to measure volume and mass, and there are two systems. One is metric system and other is standard system. The international system of units are the SI units. Now this is metric unit of measure. Now measure of lengths. 1 meter equals to 1000 millimeters, 1 meter equals to 100 centimeters, 1 kilometer equals to 1000 meters, 1 decimeter equals to 1/10 meters. Now measure of weight. 1 gram equals to 1000 milligram, 1 kilogram equals to 1000 grams. Then liquid measures. 1 liter equals to 1000 milliliters and 1 deciliter equals to 1/10 liter. Now this is English system of measurement. Here are some common conversion facts. Length 12 inches equals to 1/4, 3 feet equals to 1 yard, 5280 feet equals to 1760 yards, that is 1 mile, and weight 16 ounces equals to 1 pound, 2000 pounds equals to 1 ton, and capacity 2 cups equals to 1 pen and 8 pins equals to 1 gallon. For time, 60 seconds equals to 1 minute, 60 minutes equals to 1 hour, 24 hours equals to 1 day, and 12 months equals to 1 year. Now we have done chapter number 1, matter, and we have come to know that anything that has mass and occupies space is called matter. So every substance has a certain mass and volume. Now mass is the amount of matter contained in it and volume is the space occupied by that object. So the mass and volume of a substance are related to each other. When the mass of a substance is increased, the volume occupied by it also increases. But it is also found that equal volumes of different substances have different masses. Though volumes are equal, but they have different masses. And equal masses of different substances have different volumes. Though their masses are equal, but they have different volumes. So, if high density means more mass and low density means less mass. We can see that volumes are equal but masses are different. So one is having high density, other is having low density. Though volumes are equal but they are having different masses, masses are unequal. So high density means the mass is more here, and low density the mass is less here. Also we can see that both are having equal volumes. In one glass is water and other is having alcohol. Both are having equal volumes but their masses are different. So one is heavier than the other. Water is heavier than alcohol, and this is all because of the molecular arrangement. Molecules in water are more densely packed than in alcohol, so water is heavier than alcohol. This we can see. This is all about equal volumes and unequal masses. Second one is equal masses of different substances have different volumes. So we can easily see here that masses are the same: 1 kilogram of iron and 1 kilogram of cotton, but their volumes are different, or the space occupied by both is showing a great difference. This is also because of the molecular arrangement. The molecules in iron are more densely packed than cotton, so iron is occupying less space in comparison to cotton. What is density and how is it measured? Now, what is density? Density tells us how tightly matter is packed together. If something is packed very tightly together, it is considered to be dense. So, more tightly packed, more dense is the matter. Let's see what is density. Density is how tightly packed something is. So, we can see here the molecular arrangement. The molecules are very tightly packed, so it is more dense. This is less dense because there are some spaces. This is also less dense, and here the molecules are very loosely packed, so density is very less here. Here we can see solids, liquids and gases and their molecular arrangement. In this case, molecules are very closely packed, very tightly packed, so this is more dense, density is maximum here. And in liquids there are some spaces, they are less closely packed than solids, so it is less dense. And in case of gases, the molecules are very loosely packed, so density is minimum here. So let's have a look once again here. Both are having equal volumes, but masses are different. One is having high density, other is having low density, and the density of water is 1 gram per milliliter. If the density of the substance is less than that of water or less than 1 gram per milliliter, then it means it will float. And if the density of the substance is more than that of water or more than 1 gram per milliliter, that means it will sink. And again we are talking about density, volume, mass. Now let's go through the definition of volume. The amount of space in a three-dimensional figure is called volume, and it is measured in cubic units, and different figures have different volume formulas. Let's have a look what is mass. It is an unchanging measurement of how much matter an object contains. So it is the amount of matter that an object contains, and it will stay the same from planet to planet. It means that mass never changes. It never changes wherever we go, it remains the same, because only weight changes, because weight depends on force of gravity. It changes due to force of gravity, but mass never changes, it remains the same. You can clearly see here that mass on the moon and mass on earth is the same, that is 120 kilogram. It is not changing, it is the same, but weight is different. On moon it is 20 newtons, 6 times less, and on the earth is 120 newtons. So weight varies according to the force of gravity, but mass never changes. Mass remains the same wherever we go. In SI system, which is the international system, the unit of density is kilogram per cubic meter. Here length, mass and time are measured in meter, kilogram and second. And in CGS system, the unit of density is gram per cubic centimeter, and in CGS system, length, mass and time are measured in centimeter, gram and second. Let's have a look once again. Density is the measurement of how much mass is contained in a given volume. Formula for measuring density is density equals to m upon v, or mass upon volume, and this slash means per or for each, which in maths is the same as divided by, and the units of measure for density could be gram per cubic centimeter, gram per milliliter, kilogram per milliliter, and kilogram per cubic meter. It is cubic meter, not cubic centimeter. Kilogram per cubic meter, etc. Measure the density of a regular solid. Now what is a regular solid? A regular solid is shaped like a cube or cuboid or cylinder or cone or sphere. And to find out the density of regular solid, we have to find out the mass and volume, and mass we can find out by using a beam balance, and For calculating the volume, we have to use the formula for a cuboid. Volume equals to length into breadth into height. Now here is an activity to measure the density of an irregular solid. Now what is irregular solid? It is an irregular shape. Here we have taken stone and we have to measure the density of the stone. So things needed are a measuring cylinder. This is a measuring cylinder, and this is a stone, this is a thread, and water, and we need a beam balance. Now what we have to do, first we have to measure the mass of the stone by using a beam balance. Then we partly fill this measuring cylinder with water and we note down the level of water. Then we tie the stone with a thread and immerse it in the cylinder. Now what do we observe? We observe that water level rises. Why does this happen? It happens because as the stone is immersed, it has displaced water and the water level rises in the cylinder. So now what is the volume of the stone? Volume of the stone equals to volume of the water displaced. This is the volume of the stone. This was initial level, this is final level. So final level minus initial level will give the volume of the stone. Now to find the density, we know that density equals to mass upon volume. So density of stone equals to mass of stone upon volume of stone. This is how we can calculate the density of an irregular solid. Now this is a Eureka can and it is a glass or metal beaker with a spout on its one side. This is a spout and it contains liquid up to its spout, and the excess of liquid overflows through this spout. So this is used to measure the density of an irregular solid. Now this is an activity to measure the density of an irregular solid using a Eureka can. Now what we have to do, first we have to measure the mass of the stone using a beam balance. Then we place a cylinder under the spout of the Eureka can and we pour water in the Eureka can till the water starts overflowing. When the water has stopped dripping, we remove this cylinder and we empty this and dry it out and again place it under the spout like this. Then now we have to tie the stone with a thread and we have to immerse the stone into the Eureka can. Now what we see, as we immerse the stone, water is displaced by the stone and it overflows through the spout and it again gets collected here, again it is collected here. Now what we have to do, when the stone is fully immersed in water and the water has stopped dripping, we have to remove this cylinder and we have to note down the reading of the lower meniscus. This reading we have to note down, and as we know, volume of water equals to VML, so volume of water displaced equals to volume of the stone. So volume of the stone is V cubic centimeter and density is calculated as mass of the stone upon volume of the stone. So the density of an irregular solid can be measured by measuring its mass and volume using a Eureka can. Now our next topic is how to find the density of a liquid. We can measure the density of a liquid by finding its mass and volume. So to measure the density of a liquid, things needed are a graduated cylinder, water and a digital balance. Now what we have to do, first we have to find out the mass of the empty graduated cylinder with the help of a digital balance. Let it be m1 grams. Now we pour some water into the graduated cylinder up to VML level. Now we find the mass of the cylinder with VML of water and let it be m2 grams. So we have to subtract the mass of empty cylinder from the mass of cylinder with VML of water, that is m2 minus m1, and it gives the mass of the liquid. So to calculate the density of the liquid, formula is mass of the liquid upon volume of the liquid. Mass of the liquid is m2 minus m1 and volume is V, so m2 minus m1 upon V gram per cubic centimeter. We can also measure the density of a liquid using a density bottle. So this is a density bottle and it is a small glass bottle. It has a glass stopper with a narrow hole, and this bottle can store a fixed volume of liquid. So generally the volume of bottle is 25 ml or 50 ml. So now this is 50 ml bottle and the previous one was 25 ml bottle. So you can see this is a glass topper with a hole and this is a glass bottle, and this is called density bottle, and we can measure the density of a liquid using this bottle, and its volume is 25 ml or 50 ml. So this bottle is completely filled with liquid and its mouth is closed by inserting the stopper. Now excess liquid rises and drains out through the hole. Now to measure the density of a liquid using this density bottle, what we have to do, we need a density bottle, water, a digital balance and a blotting paper. So first we have to clean and dry this density bottle and measure its mass using a digital balance. Let it be m1 grams. Then we fill this density bottle with water, insert the stopper so that the excess water drains out through the hole. Now we measure the mass of the bottle and let it be m2 grams. Now we empty the bottle and dry it well. Now we fill it with the liquid whose density is to be determined. We insert the stopper again so that the excess liquid drains out through the hole. Now we dry the bottle from outside using the blotting paper and measure its mass. Let it be m3 grams. Now as we know, mass of empty density bottle is m1 grams and mass of density bottle plus water is m2 grams. So mass of water is m2 minus m1 grams. And mass of density bottle plus liquid is m3 grams, and so mass of the liquid equals to m3 minus m1, as m3 is the mass of density bottle plus liquid, m1 and m1 is the mass of empty bottle. So we subtract m1 from m3 and we will get the mass of the liquid. As we know, the density of water is 1 gram per cubic centimeter. So the mass of water in the bottle will give the volume of that density bottle. So mass of water is m2 minus m1. It means the volume of the liquid is m2 minus m1 cubic centimeter. So density of liquid equals to mass of liquid upon volume of liquid. Mass of liquid is m3 minus m1 and volume of liquid is m2 minus m1. So m3 minus m1 upon m2 minus m1 gram per cubic centimeter will be the density of the liquid. Now we have done density and we know that density is mass per unit volume. Now let's see what is relative density. What is the meaning of relative density, or what is the definition of relative density? Now let's see what is relative density. The ratio of density of a substance to the density of water at 4 degrees Celsius is called relative density of that substance. As we know that the relative density is the ratio of two densities, so it has no unit. So relative density has no unit as it is the ratio of two densities. Now we know that relative density of a substance equals to density of substance upon density of water at 4 degrees Celsius, and density equals to mass upon volume. So in place of density we can write relative density equals to mass of substance oblique volume of substance upon mass of water oblique volume of water at 4 degrees Celsius. If volume of substance equals to volume of water, then relative density equals to, now volumes are equal, so what is left? Mass is left. Mass of substance upon mass of an equal volume of water at 4 degrees Celsius. So relative density can also be defined as the ratio of the mass of a substance to the mass of an equal volume of water at 4 degrees Celsius. Suppose we know that the density of brass is 8.4. Now it means that the piece of brass of any volume has mass 8.4 times that of an equal volume of water. As we know, the density of water at 4 degrees Celsius is 1 gram per cubic centimeter. Therefore, the relative density of a substance equals to density of substance upon 1 gram per cubic centimeter In place of density of water, we have written 1 gram per cubic centimeter. So, this expression gives the relation between density and relative density of a substance. We can take one example. When relative density of a substance is 19.3, its density is also 19.3 gram per cubic centimeter. So, relative density tells us how dense a substance is in comparison to water. So, what does it tell? It tells us how dense a substance is in comparison to water. When relative density of a substance is greater than 1, because density of water is 1 gram per cubic centimeter. So, if the relative density of a substance is greater than 1, it means it is heavier than water, so it will sink in water. But if relative density is less than 1, it means it is lighter than water, hence it will float in water.